Thank you, reader. Now, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has once again echoed the position of Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition concerning the Kenya Kwanza administration's perceived attempt to exert influence over the judiciary. Speaking in Nairobi on Tuesday, Kalonzo slammed Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua for allegedly playing a role in the government's efforts to guard the judiciary. Let's have a look.
On Thursday, this coming week at 2:15.
The declaration by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua last week threatening to lead a demonstration to the Supreme Court to petition the Judicial Service Commission to remove Justice Maina over what he claimed was, quote, unfair hearing, unquote, has irked various leaders in the country.
Absolutely, there's nothing to negotiate.
Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka has hit out at Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua for publicly calling out Justice Esther Maina in an escalation of the war of words between the executive and the judiciary.
We'll receive Gachagua when it's Thursday. He said he's going to lead a protest. I want to see that, because that will be the culmination of absurdity with regard to the relationship between the executive and the judiciary. So we are witnessing very absurd situations, and we must actually say enough is enough. Please leave the judiciary alone.
Speaking following a Wiper Party meeting, Musyoka described it as absurd and unethical.
I saw that. I'm sure you saw that. And he named a judge. Completely unethical. That's what I'm saying. I call that conduct absurd to the extreme. It doesn't happen anywhere. Yeah.
He stated that this protest, allegedly against corrupt judges to be led by the deputy president, will have an adverse effect in the relationship between the executive and the judiciary.
The outcome and the decision of the Supreme Court, we were all bound. That's why at the level of the national dialogue, for example, the best we could come up with is agreement to at least do the audit of the process that led to this outcome. Would you compare what Raila has done to the statements by William Ruto? For sure. Raila never said, I would disobey. He never said that. So please be fair, because he knew the limits of statements like that, because he was the alternative head of state. Okay? He was a head of state as far as we are concerned. Therefore, he has to demonstrate leadership and fidelity to the Constitution.
Gachagua claimed that Justice Maina declared his wealth the proceeds of crime without giving him a chance to defend himself. He indicated that he will present his complaint before the JSC on Thursday at 2:15 p.m.
Sasa tuko tayari, mimi ndio taongoza kwa executive. Huyo judge through corruption declared my hard-earned wealth proceeds of crime without giving me an opportunity to be heard. I'll personally present a petition before Lady Chief Justice Martha Koome against Justice Esther Maina for her removal from the judiciary for misconduct and corruption.
High Court Advocate Evans Ondieki hit out at Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua for naming a judge as he vowed to seek for her removal. Ondieki termed it as defamatory and scandalous, stating that the DP should submit any evidence of wrongdoing on the judge's part to the Judicial Service Commission.
To condemn the primitive behavior by the Deputy President, Mr. Gachagua. Mr. Gachagua has no respect for the rule of law. He has no respect for the doctrine of separation of powers. He is abusing judicial officers, helter-skelter, particularly naming a person who has made a decision against him. It is not just defamatory, but it is also scandalous. Because if he has any evidence, he should submit it to JSC in order to abuse a judicial officer. That is the most hard-working judicial officer that we know. Her integrity is beyond question. She's like Caesar's wife. She's the most hard-working. And she made that decision on the basis of facts and the law before her. But Mr. Gachagua knows that they manipulated the process after they acquired power in the Court of Appeal and swore in new affidavits. Gachagua should stop this nonsense. He is behaving like a village boy and he must stop it. He has to respect the judiciary. And I'm saying this because the next time we are going to appeal, meaning to campaign until Gachagua is impeached. Because he's too incompetent, he doesn't know how the arms of government operate. He has no protocol, he has no rules, he has no guidelines. He's just a rogue state officer.
On the other hand, Central Organization of Trade Union Secretary General Francis Atwoli has come to the defense of embattled judiciary by the executive and the legislature, noting that the war of words was not auguring well for the nation. Atwoli, who said that the union fully supported the war on graft, said that he was seeking an audience with the president in the wake of allegations of graft in the judiciary.
If I would have an opportunity to meet His Excellency the President, I will kindly ask him to, as I support him, to protect our Employment and Labor Relations Court, because it's a court that is dear to me. I fought for years for the expansion of the court, which was realized during President Kibaki's time. We have this court in every region, Kisumu, Eldoret, Mombasa, Nyeri, and Nakuru, and Kericho too, because of the trade unions' demand during those previous years. And this is a court that protects the weak. Therefore, we will be on forefront to protect this court.
This comes a day after Chief Justice Martha Koome warned that the onslaught against the judiciary by the two arms of the government was a recipe for chaos. In the last couple of weeks, the president and his cronies have trained their guns on the judiciary, accusing some judges of graft while issuing court orders that were affecting capital projects.
Program yote kuna watu wakora wachache wameenda kotini wakakutana na wengine wakora huko kotini ati wasimamishe waendelee kuiba pesa ya mambo ya afya. Hiyo mnataka tungojee hiyo maneno?
President William Ruto has agreed to hold talks with Chief Justice Martha Koome and the two speakers of parliament following the sustained attacks on the judiciary in the past 2 weeks. On Monday, CJ Koome called for a meeting with Ruto to discuss the issues he has raised in the past weeks over alleged corruption in the judiciary. Opposition team under the Azimio la Umoja coalition have also castigated the president and his deputy, terming his sentiments against the judiciary as an indication of road to dictatorship and utter disregard of the constitution and separation of power.
Parliament has become an appendage of the executive. We would not want to see judiciary also becoming an appendage of the executive. We cannot allow any meeting, any secret meeting between the president and the chief justice that will compromise the independence of the judiciary, contrary to the sovereign authority and responsibility which was delegated to the judiciary by the people of Kenya.
Ruto aende. Ruto na UDA waende.
Mulimo ODM manyabandi bakakamega nomba muliena.
A message to the CJ. We don't know what you want to discuss with the president. Are you going to tell the president, I am going to fire so and so? Are you going to tell the president, I will direct a particular judge to pass this particular judgment? If you want to plunge this country into anarchy, then the judiciary should stop playing politics. So the CJ must stop playing politics and stick to the constitution.
For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, Ambushabi Jr.